Welcome to your favorite YouTube channel. Do not forget to like, comment, and click the red button below your screen to subscribe on Custom Reports TV.
Hello and thanks for staying with us. I am Egeseme Idinye with Customs Report. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has been speaking on seizures made in Tinkan Customs Commands, also on Customs Report, Customs accept remits at the airports in Lagos, plus more reports. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has said that the importation of fake drugs are not allowed in the country. He added that the warning in Lagos when he paid a working visit to the port. He commended Tinkan Island Command for generating billions of naira between the month of January to date.
In the last 3 years. So therefore, every rice that lands on our shores, we intercept it and we farm it as illegal. That is that with rice. With regards to border closure and whether if we do everything right, can this closure be looked at? No, for now, it's not only stopping the physical aspect of movements of goods and services. I explained it when I had my press conference. The first objective is to get our neighbors to comply with the extant laws established by ECOWAS on transit goods. No matter what you do now, if our neighbors do not comply with those laws and ensure that the protocol is properly adhered to, these things will still find their way into this country. For instance, now, in our neighbors, the Benin Republic, apart from the quantum of rice that is going there, they have just signed an agreement with Japan to supply them rice worth $32 million. That, what, 11 million people or under 12 million people, what would they do with $32 million worth of rice if it's not meant for Nigeria, which is the 200 million people that consume rice? So as long as we do not get these people to come and sit down with us and agree to implement the ECOWAS tariff, we didn't design it. It was designed by ECOWAS. We all assent to it, and we want it to be adhered to strictly. If that is achieved, then we'll see how we can manage the borders together, because then it would have become a collective effort with Nigeria and other neighboring countries to ensure that our borders are secure. As long as that is not done, the borders will remain closed. From the bags that you saw, some of them came from Thailand, some from China. So that's the destination for now. Further investigation will reveal exactly where they are sourced from. So the closure of the border, why we call it partial, is that we have agreed that human beings with valid papers, documents, can either leave Nigeria or come into Nigeria. That's what makes it partial. Otherwise, with regards to goods and services, it is total.
The Controller General was taking around the seized containers by the Customs Area Controller in charge of Tinkan Customs Command. The CG also says that Nigerian Customs Service will continue to make sure that things work effectively in all the ports in the country. The Controller told the Controller General that any consignment coming into the country without proper documentation will face the law.
Let me restate the resolve of the Nigerian Customs Service and other sister agencies to secure our land borders from such dangerous items. It is a red alert on all entry and exit points in Nigeria. Already, I have directed a thorough investigation with a view to bringing all those connected to these criminal imports to justice. I commend officers and men of Tinkan Island Port for a job well done. I'm also aware of the command's contribution to the service revenue collection drive. Statistics in my office have shown that the command has so far collected 286,742,551,443 naira no kobo from January 2019 to date. I therefore urge the command to keep up the good work and possibly surpass their target.
The Nigerian Customs Service at the airport has impounded frozen products worth over 68 million naira from smugglers. The customs impounded some drugs stored inside the frozen products, also at the airport. A total of 40 cartons of poultry products were intercepted on a South African Airways flight, while 104 cartons were abandoned on the tarmac of the terminal. Controller Wale Adeyini said that the seizure was as a result of the working of the management of Nigerian Customs Service. According to the custom boss, the intercepted consignment indicate as perishable and therefore qualify for pre-release at the cargo session.
This is a collective insult to our conscience as a nation. If some people will go all the way and put our resources, our foreign exchange, to import this into Nigeria, this is under under prohibition order. It should not be imported into Nigeria because we have the resources to produce them. We have a very long value chain comprising livestock keepers, comprising people who work in the abattoir industries and those who do them for retail. But then people choose to go and import this. With the amount of water resources, people still import fish, and you can see that within some few hours that you have brought it, a good number of them have started changing color, which will suggest that not all of these are suitable for consumption by Nigeria. So the intention of the prohibition order is very simple. We can produce and source for all these resources in Nigeria. So there will be no point wasting our resources for them. And if they want to bring them through the airport, we will be waiting for them, we will catch them.
The controller in charge of cargo said that the cargo station at the airport intercepted 23 bags of stunt gun, military uniforms, and 25 packages of drones.
The items in our warehouse also seized comprise different items. We have drones, 25 packages of drones. We have 23 bags of stun guns. In each bag, you have beautiful cases of stun guns. There are 23 in all. We have 2 packages of military camouflage uniform, 20 pieces in each package, making 40. We have walkie-talkies, we have police jackets, even elephant tucks. We have items also which include memory cards. We have mini cameras. There are different items. Most of these have been arrested because they don't have the relevant end user certificates. That means those who imported them do not qualify to have these items. And the items being in our custody, we are just awaiting headquarters approval to send them to the relevant agencies that should keep them.
Airway bill carrying the consignment described the goods as fresh vegetable. Content were later discovered to be carrying frozen products.
In terms of duty paid value, this is worth about 68,500,000 naira.
Including the drugs?
Well, the drugs were not in real commercial quantities. The other items, apart from the meats, are not in commercial quantities. But these ones, when you talk about their value and the duty that they're supposed to pay, it gives us the duty paid value, and it amounts to 68,500,000 naira. Well, it's difficult to run into that conclusion yet, because these are not, in big quantities. But this is one thing that tells us that we should exercise a little bit of diligence, even when we think that this is what we are doing, because they might use the familiar ones to conceal the unfamiliar ones. So it's a kind of warning for our operatives so that they will be on the lookout. And then there's also a worrisome dimension to this, because we thought we are only dealing with frozen meats products. We also have some items of drugs that are imported and that are also into this. And we also have a little bit of prepared meat. With all the number of suya people that we have in Nigeria, some people are still bringing in spare ribs and all of that to us. They also brought in, this looks like avocado flour, processed avocado paste, and then some quantity of textiles, which were also used to be concealed inside this. Very simple. The airport operations were unbundled for efficiency. So we will not allow this that has happened. We will not allow the division in the administrative chain to allow criminals to come in and perpetrate their evils. So we will work together, we will collaborate, we will synergize, we will create that working environment that allows us to see criminals from a distance and deal with them. This is one example of that.
It's the beginning of what we are going to see more. This is the Christmas season we are approaching. You know, Nigerians will want to do more and will continue to seize them.
The two controllers also warned travelers against importing or exporting banned products into the country. You are watching the program Customs Report. The Controller General Task Force in charge of Zone A has intercepted fairly used cars that were carrying frozen products into the country through the unapproved route. The head of the task force in Zone A, a deputy controller, said no exchange of fire between the men and smugglers, saying that the smugglers took off immediately they saw men of the Nigerian Customs Service. He said these men intercepted the cars and the products from the smugglers, and the products are so far been destroyed by the government as laid down by the rules.
There are 10 vehicles involved in the season, and they were being intercepted on Saturday night. You know, most times the people are always funny. They were timing us. They thought we have gone to sleep. That is when I now prove to them that we have not gone anywhere. We are together. That is when I now intercepted, including my own officers. 10 vehicles, you can see them behind me. Okay. So these are the contents. Normally, it's just like facing your enemy. We are always ready. No, we don't use any firearm. My advice to the smugglers is this: they should desist from this work they are doing. Let them look for a better work to do than smuggling. Smuggling is not a good business for them.
Still on a visit of the Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service to most of the ports in the country, so that importers and agents should desist from smuggling into Nigerian consignment not approved by the government. The customs boss also urged importers to always bring along good documentation for clearance of any consignment. He speaks more on the seizure made at Onetu Command in Rivers State.
Counting the gains of the ongoing partial border closure, this is in line with our continuous drive to prevent the importation of harmful and prohibited items into the country. The ongoing partial closure of land borders across 4 geopolitical zones in the country has led to increased desperation by smugglers who are now diverting their activities to our seaports. The Nigerian Customs Service Area 2 Command on a port has recorded a total seizure of 87 containers with duty paid value of 1,107,728,944 naira and 69 kobo from 1st January to date. The breakdown of the seizures are as follows: 20 containers of tomato paste with a total duty paid value of 272.2 million naira. 10 containers of vegetable oil worth the sum of 58.3 million naira. 34 containers of roofing tiles amounting to the sum of 505.6 million naira. 11 containers of expired rice totaling in the sum of 102.3 million naira. 1 container of matches with a total value paid value of 36.3 million naira. 9 containers of expired vegetable oil and jam worth the sum of 117.6 million naira. 1 container of expired baby wipers with a total value duty paid of 9 million. And then 1 container of scrap metal amounting to the sum of 6.04 million. These seizures are in line with the provision of the Customs and Excise Management Act, Cap C45, of the laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, sections 46 and section 161. Let me reiterate our concern and determination to do all it takes to protect the well-being and safety of all citizens and residents by preventing the devastating effect of these hazardous importation and smuggled items. They endanger our lives as Nigerians. Hence, we will not allow them to be found in our own markets. As a responsible agency, Nigerian Customs Service will not disappoint on its mandate of enforcing compliance by maintaining zero tolerance to smuggling activities, irrespective of whoever is involved under whatever circumstances. Let me assure you that a thorough investigation will be conducted with a view to bringing all connected to justice.
It was conducted around the seized item by the controller in charge of the port. The controller told Custom Management that the command is ever ready for 100% examination of consignment into the country.
Must be ready to endure that. We'll talk about rising cost of rice. We don't have to eat rice, all of us, and we don't have to eat rice every day. I said it when I was talking in Port Harcourt, that some of us, when we were growing, we eat rice maybe 2-3 times in a week in our houses. There are other alternative food, and they are very good. So why can't we go back to that? Must we eat rice? If we have to eat, then we have to bear the cost now. And I assure you that this price will stabilize. In the past, the ordinary farmer, the peasant farmer has been subsidizing the appetite of those of us in the cities. You farm, you spend all your time on the farm, you buy fertilizer, you do everything. By the time you bring your produce to the market, it sells for half the price of a fertilizer bag. Would you go back to farm tomorrow if you are a farmer? It's impossible. There must be a break-even price for a farmer to want to go back to farm. And as at the time we were selling some of these things, a bag of maize for 4,500, and then he will now use 5,000 to buy a bag of fertilizer. There's no business that you can invest like that. So we must endure also. We must know that there is a break-even prices for our industries also be able to survive so that they will continuously produce. Our farmers to be able to go to farm and continuously produce. That we have to reach that point to understand that. But most importantly is that we must be ready for a short-time pain for us to have a long-time success in our life. Thank you. The problem with some of our ports are, even the Lagos ports, they are not deep-sea ports. They are not deep-sea ports. We don't have a deep-sea port in Nigeria. We need to dredge and get a deep-sea port. Most of these big ships, when they come, they discharge on the high sea. We have to use barges to bring those goods into the hinterland, and that is not supposed to be. So I think this is an issue which government must tackle seriously. We have about 5 major ports in this country, and we need to get them all operational. I agree with you. And it will be a good business for us in the Nigerian Customs Service, because then we will pick up revenue on all corners: Calabar, Port Harcourt, Warri, and of course Lagos. So we need that, but that is an investment which I believe government will have to tackle, and it has to become gradually. So it is our hope that government will look at that and do something on it. Good. I think with regard to arrest, there are, of course, for every good, when you hear there's a declaration, it means somebody must have signed some papers. So that is the point where we start from. Those who have signed some papers to make the first declaration.
The National President of Association of Nigerian Licensed Customs Agents, Mr. Tony Iju, said that customs should continue to fine-tune policies that will help freight forwarders operate effectively in all the ports in the country. He also commended the custom for the implementation of federal government directives as approved by the government. He speaks more on a number of issues.
Customs are actually saying that everyone should do the right thing And doing the right thing means that our importers should import according to specific import guidelines and procedures. Then seaport, land border post is another big problem we are having today because of the closure of the borders. And the closure of the borders has generated a whole lot of things, because a whole lot of problems, because people thought it was very impromptu. People thought that the government should have negotiated and give people some days of grace to take their goods, and not to do that again. And I understand exactly why federal government really wants to close the border, because it's becoming a security threat. Some of them are being a little bit remorseful because they have actually used Nigeria as a dumping ground. I'll tell you the truth. If, for example, we're having a transit goods and it's supposed to come to Nigeria, it's supposed to come as a containerized goods to the border, and they hand it over to Nigerian customs to do the utmost sincerity check. I'll equally give the actual duty. But you find out that onward goods that are supposed to come to Nigeria are being offloaded in Cotonou, and they've been replaced into the trucks, multiple containers in one truck, and it's making it being very difficult for Nigerian Customs Services to give appropriate duty or appropriate examinations of that goods. But I think we have ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme, which is supposed to have taken care of. I want the other neighboring countries to play according to the plans of ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme, which specified that every transit goods must be taken to the destination or the border post of the other country, and hand over to the custom of the other country, handed it over to the other country like Nigeria and Cotonou. But that has not been there. So we are sensitizing our customers, which is the importers, to begin to do the right thing, because I must tell you the truth, some of our importers are actually asking for having Cotonou as the final destination of the goods and finding their ways to bring it to Nigeria for another examination and possibly give duty. But that's not the trade liberalization scheme. When you say that customs are actually revenue collectors who are actually paying that revenues, we are representing our clients to pay the revenues. So we are creating employment, we are creating network of employment. 100 million in 10 years, that means 10 million per year. You know, it looks like a mirage, it looks like an impossible act, but without giving employment to our workers, giving employment to Nigerian youths who are coming into our trade and businesses, I think we should have a rebate of tax. Some cars are being smuggled into the country without paying any duty, and these are the areas I'm talking about, the unapproved routes where smugglers are using. And most times they bring in these consignments into Nigeria without paying duty. So making it as if there are other people who are paying duties and are not actually paying the duties. But the issue here is, like I said, the tariff of cars are very high in Nigeria. For example, if you have a brand new car and you pay 35% and pay 35% levy, that is making it 70%, is very on the high side. It will encourage smuggling. Then another thing very clearly is that federal government should give a benchmark to cars, so that even if you are importing a car all over the world, you know that I am importing a Land Cruiser car, and this is the amount, and this is how much I'm going to pay. If you look at it and it's okay by you, you do that. If it is not, fine and good. Then again, I have to say that the CG Custom is very magnanimous in actually saying, I don't want to seize your car. Come and pay the appropriate duty of those which is under detention. That one, I think he has done a good job there. I think he should be encouraged more, and people should go and pay the appropriate duty and take their cars, because those cars are smuggled in. For those cars who are actually at the car ports and the car mats and being confiscated or actually being seized, I think that they should negotiate with the dealers for those cars who pay duty from Nigerian ports should be allowed to go. But for those who actually smuggled in without paying duty, should definitely make to pay duty.
Just before I draw the curtain on today's edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where Nigerian Customs Service continue to seize frozen products from smugglers across the country. For me, Igiseme Edine. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching Custom Reports TV. Do not forget to subscribe, comment, and like the video.